You know, life's tough. People will tell you all kinds of things about success. They'll tell you you need connections, or you need to have the right skills, and you know what. All that's important. But here's what they don't tell you: your success starts with you. That's right. It's all about you. Self-reflection, understanding who you are and your true desires is the first step to success. Take time for introspection to gain clarity. Let me tell you something, folks. Before you can even think about stepping into success, you've got to understand who you are. I'm talking about really taking the time to know yourself, not who you think you are, or who people around you tell you to be. I mean the real you. We live in a world that's constantly pushing us to fit into molds, to live up to other people's expectations, and we get so caught up in that. We forget the most important thing, understanding who we truly are. When I look back at my own journey, the real shift didn't happen until I spent some serious time reflecting on my life. I had to stop pretending I was something I wasn't, stop chasing after what everybody else thought I should be, and just look at myself for who I was and who I could become. Success doesn't come from trying to live someone else's dream. It comes from living your own. But before you can do that, you've got to have a real conversation with yourself. Ask yourself some tough questions. What am I passionate about? What am I afraid of? What do I want my life to mean? You see, when you're clear about who you are, you unlock a whole new level of potential. You're not wandering through life blindly, letting circumstances or other people's opinions dictate your path. Instead, you're walking with purpose, with clarity, and that clarity, my friends, is what sets you apart. When you know who you are, you can set your intentions with precision. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter, and you start focusing on the things that really move the needle in your life. And here's the kicker. Understanding yourself isn't about always having the answers right away. It's about the willingness to dig deeper, to peel back the layers, and to embrace the process of discovery. Life will throw you curveballs, and the road won't always be clear. But when you've taken the time to know your core, when you've really done that inner work, you will have the strength to keep going when things get tough. You'll have the resilience to stay true to your vision, no matter how many distractions come your way. So don't rush this. Spend the time, get to know yourself, because once you do, you'll realize there's a whole universe of untapped potential waiting for you. And when you find that, my friend, success isn't far behind, you will live your life on your terms, and the world will respond to the authenticity you bring. Remember this: success starts with clarity. It starts with knowing who you really are. And once you've figured that out, there's nothing stopping you from becoming the person you were meant to be. Embrace failures. Failure isn't the end, it's a lesson. Learn from your mistakes and use them as stepping stones toward success. Now, let's talk about failure for a second. I know, nobody likes to hear that word. When you think about failure, it feels like a punch in the gut, doesn't it? But here's the thing, failure is a part of success. In fact, it's the bridge you've got to cross to get to where you want to be. You cannot grow without failure. You cannot level up without hitting those bumps along the road. And I'll tell you this, the people who have truly succeeded in life are the ones who have failed the most. Not because they were unlucky, but because they kept going. They embraced failure as a lesson, not a roadblock. I've had my share of failures. Man, I've lost everything I had twice. But let me tell you something that's not often talked about. Failure isn't the problem. The problem is what you do after you fail. You see, when life knocks you down, there are two options. You can either let it defeat you, or you can take it as an opportunity to grow. I'm telling you, it's all about how you respond to those failures that will define whether you succeed or not. Now, I'm not saying you should look for failure. That would be foolish. But when it comes, and it will, don't shy away from it. Don't run from it. Embrace it. Learn from it. Every failure teaches you something new. It teaches you what doesn't work, so you can adjust your strategy. It teaches you what you need to improve, so you can do better next time. And most importantly, it teaches you resilience. The ability to get up, dust yourself off, and try again is what separates the winners from the quitters. Failure is the gym for your character. It builds mental toughness, patience, and perseverance. It's the fire that tempers you for greater things ahead. But here's the real secret. Failure doesn't define you. It's not who you are. It's a moment, and that moment will pass if you allow it to. What defines you is your willingness to stand back up, to keep going, and to learn from your mistakes. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who get back up every time, no matter how hard they fall. So when you fail, don't be discouraged. Use it as fuel. Take that pain, that frustration, and turn it into motivation. Because if you keep getting up and you keep learning from each failure, you will win. It's not about avoiding failure, it's about using it as the stepping stone to success. Remember this, failure is not the enemy. The real enemy is quitting. Keep going, keep fighting. Your success is waiting, and it's built on the foundation of all those failures you thought would stop you. Discipline and consistency. You have to develop the habit of showing up every single day. Regardless of how you feel, consistency is key. Let's talk about discipline and consistency for a moment. You know, it's one thing to talk about success. It's another thing to actually do the work that gets you there. And let me tell you something, success isn't just about having big dreams or a clear vision. It's about showing up. Every single day, whether you feel like it or not. Now I know a lot of folks want the reward without the grind. We live in a society where instant gratification is the norm, but that's not how real success works. You can't skip the steps, and you can't cut corners. The truth is, most people don't fail because they don't have the talent or the ambition. They fail because they're inconsistent. They give up too early. They start strong, but when the novelty wears off, so does their drive. If you want to succeed, you've got to understand that showing up every day, no matter how you feel, is the secret sauce. Consistency is the engine that drives the vehicle of success. Without it, you're just spinning your wheels. Discipline is what makes consistency possible. Discipline is the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it, even when you'd rather be doing something else. It's about creating a routine and sticking to it, even when the excitement fades and the road gets tough. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your accomplishments. And that bridge, my friends, is built one day at a time. You've got to develop a work ethic that's unwavering. When you wake up, there's no negotiation. It's not, well, I don't feel like doing this today. No. You get up and you do it. You show up whether you're motivated or not, because consistency doesn't depend on how you feel. It depends on your commitment. And I'll tell you, once you get into the habit of showing up every day, something happens. You start to build momentum. At first, it feels like you're pushing a boulder uphill, but eventually, you're going to hit a point where that boulder starts rolling down the hill. And when that happens, everything you've worked for, every moment of discipline, every minute you've stayed consistent, it all starts to pay off. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent. It's discipline. It's consistency. The winners are the ones who show up when no one else does. The winners are the ones who keep going when the excitement wears off. They understand that success is a long game, and they are in it for the long haul. So let me leave you with this. If you want to win, make consistency your best friend. Develop the discipline to keep going even when the results aren't showing up yet, because eventually they will. And when they do, you'll realize that the secret to your success was in the routine, in the small daily steps you took, in the quiet moments where you chose to keep moving forward. Stay disciplined, stay consistent, and success will find you. Stop seeking validation. Don't look to others for approval. Your worth doesn't depend on their opinions or praise. It's time to trust yourself. Let me say something real quick. Stop looking for validation from other people. I know this is a tough one for many, but trust me, it's the truth. We've all been there, right? You're working hard, putting in the effort, and you keep waiting for someone to recognize it, give you a pat on the back, or tell you, you're doing a great job. But here's the problem. When you start depending on external validation, you give away your power. You make your success and yourself worth conditional on other people's opinions. And that, my friends, is a dangerous game to play. The truth is, you'll never find lasting success if you're waiting on someone else to approve of you. Your path is yours alone. Nobody else has to understand it, and nobody else has to approve of it. What matters is that you believe in yourself. What matters is that you trust your vision and keep moving toward it, regardless of whether others are clapping or sitting in silence. When I was coming up, there were plenty of people who didn't believe in me. I had family members tell me that I was wasting my time. People telling me I was crazy for chasing a dream that seemed impossible. But guess what? I didn't need their validation. I didn't need their approval. What I needed was belief in myself. I needed to know that I had a vision and a purpose, and I wasn't going to let anyone's doubt stand in my way. And let's be clear, this isn't about being arrogant or dismissing constructive feedback. I'm talking about not letting you be defined by others' opinions. People will always have something to say. They'll criticize, they'll praise, they'll put you on a pedestal, or they'll tear you down. But none of that matters unless you let it. This world is full of noise, and it's easy to get caught up in it. But when you focus on yourself, when you focus on your growth, and when you develop an unshakable belief in who you are and what you're capable of, that noise fades into the background. If you're constantly looking for approval from others, you're giving them the power to control your success. Stop doing that. Your life, your dreams, your success, it's all in your hands. When you start to believe in your own value, when you stop needing other people's validation to feel good about yourself, that's when you'll see real progress. So here's the bottom line. Stop seeking validation from the world and start validating yourself. Trust yourself. Invest in your own potential. And keep moving forward with or without anyone else's approval. The only validation you need is the one you give yourself every single day when you wake up and keep going. Growth mindset, stay open to learning. Don't let ego stop you from growing. Your ability to adapt and evolve is what separates you from others. Now, let's talk about something that separates the successful from the stagnant. Your mindset. If you want to succeed, you need to cultivate a growth mindset, and I mean truly embrace it. What do I mean by that? Well, a growth mindset, it is the belief that you can improve, that you can learn, that your abilities are not fixed, and that there's always room to get better. People with a fixed mindset believe that their talents are set in stone, that what they're born with is all they'll ever have. But people with a growth mindset, they believe something else. They believe that every mistake is an opportunity to grow, every failure is a lesson, and every setback is a chance to come back stronger. Let me tell you something, nobody's born perfect, not me, not anyone you admire. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is this simple truth: winners keep learning. They keep evolving. They refuse to let their ego get in the way of their growth. I know too many people who hit a certain level of success and then they stop. They think they've arrived. But the moment you think you've learned it all, that's the moment you start to fall behind. Let me give you a real life example. When I first started in comedy, I wasn't naturally gifted. I wasn't the funniest guy in the room. But I had something else, a hunger to learn. I studied the greats. I watched every performance. I absorbed everything I could. I didn't wait for perfection to come to me. I worked at it every single day. I embraced feedback, even the tough stuff, because I knew I couldn't get better without it. My ego wasn't getting in the way, and over time, that commitment to learning paid off. That's the difference between growth and stagnation. You have to stay open to new ideas, new ways of doing things. You have to challenge your own assumptions and push your boundaries. And let me tell you, this is harder than it sounds. It's easy to get comfortable. It's easy to think, I've got this. I don't need to change. But the truth is, if you're not constantly learning, if you're not adapting, then you're falling behind. The world keeps moving forward, and if you're not growing with it, you're left in the dust. A growth mindset isn't just about acquiring knowledge. It's about adapting, evolving, and pushing through obstacles. It's about resilience. It's about being able to look failure in the eye, learn from it, and come back stronger than ever. It's about staying curious, staying humble, and staying hungry for improvement. So let me leave you with this. The only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself. Keep learning, keep growing, and remember your potential is limitless as long as you're willing to evolve. Success is built on the foundation of a mindset that refuses to quit and a spirit that's always ready to grow. Keep that growth mindset and nothing can stop you. Gratitude and patience. Success doesn't come overnight. Be thankful for what you have, but remain patient for the journey ahead. Let me tell you something. Success doesn't come fast. It doesn't come in a day, a week, or even a year, and you know what? That's okay. In fact, it's necessary. We live in an era where everything is about instant results. We've got fast food, same-day delivery, instant streaming, and even instant fame. But when it comes to success, that's not how it works. Real success takes time, and if you're going to make it, you've got to develop the patience to see your journey through. Now, I know this is hard. It's easy to get frustrated when things aren't moving as quickly as you want them to. You see someone else succeeding, and you think, why not me? Why haven't I hit my breakthrough yet? But here's the thing you have to understand. Success is a marathon, not a sprint. And no one can tell you how long your race will be. But the key to making it through that marathon is patience and gratitude. Patience doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. No. Patience is about maintaining faith and persistence while you work hard every day toward your goals, even when it feels like the finish line is far out of sight. It's about trusting the process, knowing that the efforts you put in today are the seeds that will bear fruit down the line. You've got to keep planting those seeds, nurturing them, and believing that the harvest will come, because it will. But you can't rush it. If you try to speed up the process, you risk losing the richness of the journey, the lessons, and the growth that come with it. And while you're being patient, there's one more thing you've got to do: be grateful. Gratitude is the foundation of real success. You might not be where you want to be yet, but are you thankful for where you are right now? Are you grateful for the small victories, the lessons, and the progress you've made, even if it's not as big as you'd hoped? Gratitude keeps you grounded. It keeps you motivated when you want to quit. When you focus on the good, when you take a moment to appreciate how far you've come, you reframe the whole journey. Instead of being discouraged by how much further you have to go, you start celebrating how much you've already accomplished. And that makes the waiting a lot easier. So I need you to hear me loud and clear. Success is coming, but it's going to take time. Be patient, trust the process, and while you wait, be grateful for every step, every lesson, and every moment of progress. Because the road to success might be long, but with patience and gratitude you'll get there. And when you do, it'll be worth every single step.